Please return Bubbles, your flight attendant, to her fully upright and locked position. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position. It's another episode of Skip Happens, your weekly view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
Hey.
Yo. Hello, everybody.
Hi,
How are we tonight? Deb Lamphere, how are you?
I'm awesome because we are like back in full-fledged with podcast season. And we have some fantastic guests to kick our week off.
Night after night after night, and tonight no exception. Clayton Smalley, no stranger to the Skip Happens podcast. Clayton, dude, it's so good to see you.
It's great to see you too. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome.
Now, we were just talking about John Griffin. In the very first comment, we've been on 5 seconds, and there he is.
There he is.
Let's all say,
his ears were ringing.
Exactly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are in Utah, right?
Yes, Spanish Fork, Utah.
Okay.
About 45 minutes south of Salt Lake.
Oh, wow. Describe what your hometown is like. What I've never been to Utah.
Spanish Fork is a lot like my original hometown's California, San Jacinto, California. Spanish Fork's a lot like that was when I was growing up. It's like a mix of agriculture and houses, obviously.
You see the
commercial
mountains,
stuff, Walmart, Costco, all that.
Yeah,
you know, all that stuff too. That's kind of all blown up lately, like over the last few years. But when we first moved here, it was a pretty good mix of agriculture and just houses. Just a little town, but it's blown up now, just like a lot of places across the country.
Why the move? Why did you move from California to Utah?
Well, I went from California to North Carolina to Utah.
Holy cow. You went coast to coast and went back to the middle.
Yeah. We left California when our kids were ready to go to school. It was getting like really packed, building a lot of houses. We were getting a lot of the LA gang activity in the schools down there. So I took my first inspection job I could get, and it was in Wilmington, North Carolina. And we were out there for 10 years before everything kind of crashed. Yeah. And crashed out West Coast 2008. It took till like 2013 to crash back east. Once it did, like construction was dead. So
yeah, and that's you're a construction guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a construction inspector.
All right. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking that you were an electrician, but all the same.
I'm a welder by trade.
Okay.
Like, that's what I grew up doing. So the first thing I got was welding inspector.
Well, don't burn those hands because you're a damn good guitar player. I'll tell you that much. But like I said in the beginning, Deb and I have had you on before. We've talked about your music. You've come a long ways. You got a great team behind you. Where are we now? You're coming out with a brand new single to radio.
Yep.
And can you tell us about that a little bit?
Always barely getting by. Yeah, I wrote this with John Griffin and my producer, David Flint. We wrote it back summer of last year. And I, for like a while, wanted to write a modern day version of Working Man Blues. Because I love Merle Haggard.
Right.
So, and it's kind of outdated. It's still a great tune, but, you know, a little outdated. So
I don't know. I don't think it's ever outdated.
I don't think
it's
so.
One of those songs, Clayton. That's one of those songs. That's just
no. It's for sure never going anywhere. Like, it's still a great tune, but I don't know. I just wanted to do an updated version of it. Yeah,
exactly. So, all right, tell us about the writing of that. You said you wrote it with John, who has already commented, and all that. But the thoughts, the whole thing behind it. Can you get into that a little bit?
It's just kind of like my day. I started out doing welding inspection. Now I do concrete and masonry and stuff like that. And like out here, a lot of the concrete inspections at like 2 a.m. So that's like first verse, getting to the job site before 4 a.m. Like it's just kind of
you could
everyday life.
You could do morning radio if you got to be somewhere at 4 a.m. I mean, I did a morning show for years, and I got my butt out of bed at about 3 o'clock every morning. And by the time you shower and get out of the house, it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you got to be Mr. Happy. So, and the sun is coming up, and you know, to me, it's a beautiful time of the day. But I don't know. I just couldn't get accustomed to it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like especially 2 a.m. Like if you get just a couple of those during the week, that ruins your sleep pattern for sure.
Well, we just weren't built to function all through the night like that, you know.
Yeah, right.
We're not really nocturnal, so.
So, with all that being said, Clayton, when do you get time to play music? And obviously, you want to play out a little bit too to get yourself known. But when do you find time to do that? If you've got to be up at 3 in the morning and doing a cement inspection at 4 and what have you?
It's mostly on the weekends out here anyway. If you do play out at night, so you're a little tired, like you're saying, trying to be all happy and
well,
gotta suck it up on the weekend, man.
Smile and wave any other time. That's all. It all looks good. Absolutely. Oh, go ahead.
I was just wondering, are you traveling with your music, or are you playing there on the weekends right now?
This year, I canceled everything this year with everything that happened with my son. So I had a full summer booked, and when everything went down, I just canceled it all.
Yeah.
Not knowing what was like
family first, no matter where we are in life. I always say that because we can always circle back to where we left off.
Yeah. And you're doing that now. But if we may, I mean, you said your 18-year-old had a heart transplant, young age of 18. You know, that's the youngest I think I've ever heard of an individual having a heart transplant. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And you said you had to shut down what you were doing music wise, and rightfully so. I mean, all that and more, but can you get into it a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So January, he was senior in high school last year. So in January, they started doing indoor workouts he plays baseball or played baseball for his high school team. So in January, they were starting to do indoor practices. So he was running sprints and passed out. So the head coach called my wife first, and I think she was out of town. She was like down at another office and asked me if I could go pick him up. So I went down there, and they said they were running sprints, and he just passed out, and they needed me to take him to urgent care to have him checked for concussion before he could come back to practice. So I took him to urgent care. They kind of ran him through and decided for whatever reason to do an EKG, and they came in and said, "You guys got to go to the ER right now. Something's wrong with his heart." Wow. So it started in January. We took him in. The backstory is my wife's family has congestive heart failure, like it runs in their family. And for whatever reason, he had just a different type of gene on top of the one that causes that. Usually in her family, it just affects one side of the heart. Mm-hmm. Well, what he had going on, it was attacking both sides of his heart. So we found out about it in January. They tried managing it with medicine for a little while, but he just started tanking. And
oh, jeez.
By June, it was like the beginning of June. They told us that he's got to have a heart transplant. It's going.
So when was most of this like a constant AFib situation? Is that what happens in this type of?
It just affects how well it pumps, and the muscle just doesn't work like it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. And like Shannon has it, she just has it on one side. They're managing it with heart meds, and like she just had a defibrillator put in 2 weeks ago, just as a safety net. But it just starts. The heart just starts failing.
Wow, and for them,
going well. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he's doing great. Yeah, it was a little rocky there at the beginning, but he's just started work at my wife's dermatology office this week, and
very nice.
kind of getting back out and getting back into the world.
How hard was it to find a heart? I mean, I don't even know what the process is. But I'd be like, okay, we only have so much time. We need to get a heart.
That's from what I understood. It depends on all that, like how critical is the case. The heart's got to be the right size.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's got to be the right blood type.
Right.
His saving grace was he was AB positive, so he's one of the universal blood types, so that didn't matter. And obviously, I think his age helped him out. But it was quick, man. I want to say it was from when they put him on the list till we got the call that they found a heart was like less than a week.
Oh my goodness, you are blessed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like that's why I canceled everything. I'm like, this could take all year. I don't know, because we were meeting people that were in that wing of the hospital that had been there waiting for a heart for months, or I think there was one guy in there had been in there over a year waiting.
Wow.
And at that point, I'm just like, I can't juggle both these things.
No. And you got your priorities, obviously, and you got to do what you got to do. What was that? I can't even fathom being in that position. I have a son, and I can't even imagine that happening. And then knowing that he's going into surgery and you don't know what's going to happen.
That was the scariest I'd ever been in my life.
Exactly. I'm just thinking about being in your shoes, dude. The Lord was on your side, and thank God he's doing good. Is he going to get back to playing ball at all, or slowly work back into it?
I mean, he'll be able to get back to like exercising again. Like his grandpa, I don't remember if I said that. Like my wife's dad had a heart transplant 13 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so he was a huge help through this whole thing. Like he came out, I think 2 or 3 times and was with us, and like that. I know one thing for sure, that was huge for Austin, because like he was basically giving him a play-by-play of what was going to happen. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't imagine being 18 and like hearing what the doctor's saying and trying to like figure that out and be like, it would have been a lot more scary if he hadn't had his grandpa there and being like,
right.
This sounds kind of bad. It's really not that big of a deal. This sucks. You're not gonna like that.
At least you got the reality of what was good or not so good. What was really not so good.
That was a huge help. But
now that you've been through all that, you're a strong man, and you've been through all that. Do you think it's good? You're getting back into doing the music again. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you've dropped a single to radio. You got Grassroots working that for you, and John. Do you think that's going to make you a better songwriter, or it's kind of give you that spiritual? I don't know how to explain it, but when you sit there and you write, you kind of get really deep sometimes. Do you think this is going to help you out, this whole experience?
I think so. I think I just need to kind of unravel it a little bit first. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, I think for sure down the road, once I kind of wrap my head around it all and figure out how to unwind it and find the right ideas, and yeah.
Wow. Are you one of these people that will wake up in the middle of the night and you have an idea and you have to get right down and start writing, or?
That's
happened a couple times. It usually happens to me first thing in the morning, like when I'm driving to work. That's kind of when my brain's like really cranking. But it has happened a couple times where I had an idea in the middle of the night and got up and typed it out in notes. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I just don't know. I forget things as soon as, if I don't write them down and I try to remember.
I got to write them down right now.
I'm done. I'm done. Even the grocery list now at this point. If it's not on that list now, it's not getting purchased.
Well, the grocery list is easy. You just say, Alexa, add eggs to my grocery list. And it says, I've added eggs to your grocery list. So
I should really take advantage. I have an Alexa. I don't even use it.
And you have the app on your phone. And when you get to where we're going to do your shopping, you just bring up the app and your list is right there. My wife uses it all the time.
Oh, I am so far behind in technology.
She has more of a conversation with our Alexa than she does with me. Eggs, cereal, pancake mix, whatever, you know.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Exactly.
So.
You know, I remember the song, These Boots Were Made to Dance. I think that was the first one that I started playing of yours when John, way back a few years ago, he sent that to us. What a great song that was. It did really well. I know on iTunes, of course, he had Whiskey Sunrise. That was your debut release, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That kicked ass on iTunes. What did it get, number 10, number 11, or something like that?
I think it got up to 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, that was crazy because like that was my first thing out.
it's like, dude, this is working. You know, I got to tell you, being an independent artist and where you are in your career, you've got a hell of a fan base, because I'm looking at all these comments over here on my right hand side. And, you know, let's take John out of the mix for a minute. He'll be mad I said that. But, you know,
We still love you, John.
Yeah, we still love you, John. But just reading some of the comments, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's I've been blessed with the fan base for sure. A lot of them, like, there's quite a few out there that'll just have shown up for a show. Like Teresa is like one of my best friends now. Like she just came up to meet me after I'd opened for Ned Ledoux out here one time. And yeah, it's just a cool community. It's cool to meet the people that connect with your music, you know, like I don't know. I know the fan thing's a normal descriptor for it, but it's people that connect with what you like just kind of pulled out of nowhere.
In the words of Brooks and Dunn, you're a hardworking man. Because you're doing this, you're doing your other thing all week long. You're going out on the weekend and killing it, playing these shows. It's just, that is remarkable. That is so hard to do. Do you get up to Nashville at all? Have you had a chance to go and play Nashville or anything like that? Has John brought you in?
Yeah, I've been, that's where I record all my stuff. So every time I go out, I'll usually make it out there a couple times a year. That's where I record. And then while we're out there, we're usually playing playing shows like Nashville Palace and just kind of riders rounds here and there.
You like inspect the concrete wherever you're going when you're out there?
I can't help it.
Do you really?
It's mostly welding for me. Like if I'm in a building that's got an open ceiling,
it's like that's not
how many welds are missing, how many bolts.
Maybe I should be
hang out in that building for much longer.
Maybe I shouldn't be standing here. Honey, let's move.
Yeah, we don't need to get the last on.
You know, it's funny. It doesn't matter what profession we're in. It's like me being a radio guy. Yeah, I'm checking things out on that, you know, no matter where I am. You being, you know, a welder by trade, I'm sure you're going, oh, look at those. Those welds aren't too good. And Deb doing, you know, her shows, whether, you know, her filming in Nashville or wherever it may be, I'm sure she's checking things out too. Like,
I'm always,
you know,
you can't help when you know something well. When you go somewhere else, you have to see if things are up to par.
It is. Do you remember the very first song you ever wrote? That's the expression we get from every artist when I ask them. Or they would be like, yeah, I do, but I'm not going to tell you because it sucked.
I actually don't remember, but I guarantee you didn't want to hear
it. And when you put out a song or you got something you think is really good, let's say you haven't put it out yet, who do you put it in front of? Is it John, or do you go home and talk to your wife and say, hey, you know what? This is what I wrote today. Listen to it. Let me know what you think.
It's usually John and Dave. Getting into this, like I wrote by myself a long time ago, like before I kind of quit. Like I took a hiatus when we had our kids. Like I wasn't doing anything, and just got back into it like 2018. And I wasn't writing then. My goal back in 2018 was I was gonna get a bunch of songs down, cover songs down, and get a band together and just go play for fun. And like that's how I met John and Dave, was through my YouTube and social media. Like just started posting videos up. And John's the one that asked me, you know, like, are you interested in writing? I was like, you used to do it a long time ago. And like literally with John was the first time I'd ever co-written with anybody. So but I haven't. That's the only way I've done it since. Like, I have some things in my head I've been kicking around and like I'm working on. I just haven't finished them yet. But yeah, I would run them by John and Dave, and
That's cool.
but usually it's stuff that we've written, and we're just kind of trying to pick through them and figure out which ones we think are gonna do better than the others.
Has John ever made you a pizza? Because I see him online making pizzas. Or yeah, I think you said he doesn't do that anymore, but he was.
I don't think so. I don't think he's made me a pizza.
Hmm.
He's made me an omelet. I don't think a pizza.
Yeah. I will, John commented on here, and something I should mention is that he put the link for the organ donor, organ donor.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say that.
Yeah, / sign up. Please, as if you just joined us afterwards, go back and listen to this from the beginning, because Clayton's 18-year-old son had a heart transplant, and that's what that's all about. So if you want to go back and give it a listen afterwards, that's fine. Of course, anytime.
That was something I did not put a lot of thought in for this. Like, I had to actually check my license to see if I was, and I wasn't. And like, probably
I don't think anybody even
March or April, I was like, well,
yeah,
I'm doing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I don't think, you didn't think about that until
I think a lot of people don't think about it
until something happens. And then it's like, oh my God,
and
absolutely.
Just being on that floor and seeing all them people waiting, and like, if you don't have an aversion to that for whatever other reason, like, obviously it's, unfortunate, and it's like heartbreaking for your family, but your demise can be like a blessing for multiple people. Like, it's crazy. Like, the person that we don't know, the person that Austin got his heart from, but there was, I don't even remember how many patients were waiting on organs from that one person.
They won't tell you. Am I correct?
No, they won't, unless the family of the donor volunteers it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to know or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I spent some time thinking about that. I don't know I don't know if I would want to either.
Deb?
So, little question is, you said you met other people on the floor that were waiting, and your sons came up rather quickly, and other people were waiting longer. Did they question that process at all, or are people very understanding of where?
I don't think so, because everything they ran through for us was, it's got to be the right part. Like, that team is amazing. Like, it's Intermountain Hospital in Murray. Like, that team, it was just, we are not taking this heart unless it's perfect for you. So, and I'm sure they were saying the same things to all the other people. I think the biggest thing that helped Austin out was the blood type. Like,
sure, right.
It's got to be the right blood type. It's got to be the right size. It's got to be, just everything's got to fit.
There's
I can't explain it.
Interesting comment on here from Emma. It says, in the UK, you are an organ donor unless you state otherwise.
I remember her telling me. I remember her messaging me about that.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe she's right. Maybe it should be that way. I don't know. It's Yep. And everybody, please change your licenses to be a donor, and don't wait until something like this happens. I mean, that's exactly what we're saying. Thanks, Roger. And thanks for watching. So that's cool. Let's get back to the music. So did you pick up the guitar and take it to the hospital and play for the nurses and everybody that was working on that floor? No? It was too hard, probably, right? No, I know.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was a scary time.
No, exactly. Like I said earlier, I can't even fathom what was going through your mind. Had to be just unbelievable. So what about, do we have an EP coming out, an album coming out in the future? What's going on with Clayton?
Actually, we haven't really talked about how I was in Nashville in February and recorded 7 new songs, but like, we've been talking about lately, just like dropping singles. Like, we got Always Barely Getting By going to radio. or out now, and then I'm dropping a digital cover of The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert actually tonight.
Okay.
Oh, love
Very
that song.
I love that. That's one of my favorite songs.
It tells
out there.
a great story, man.
Yeah, it does.
Right from
And
the get-go.
that one came out real good. So it'll be dropping like on Spotify and Apple and everything tonight. And then so I've got 5 others that we wrote, and we haven't really talked about whether we were going to do a EP or not. I think right now it might just be singles. So.
Yeah, but maybe that's the way to do it. And you decide.
It's the way a lot of people do it.
Yeah, and being an independent, I mean, you're making all these decisions, maybe you and with the help of John, who's great. I mean, all kidding aside, he is great, knows his stuff.
Yeah,
that whole crew, that whole team at Grassroots is just, I praise them every time I come on with an artist, anybody that's got them, because I know what they do. I know them personally, and I know they've got the knowledge to make it work for you. And they're not going to point you in a bad direction. They're going to take whatever's good for you, whatever's good for you. And they listen to you.
No, they're awesome.
Yep, absolutely. You said you don't have the lottery in Utah?
Nope.
The Powerball? No lottery, huh?
Well, everybody says they're running up to Evanston when they want to go get their lottery tickets.
Because the Powerball, I know maybe somebody would have won by the time somebody else watches this, but right now, currently, the Powerball is like at 1.40 billion.
Gee.
Now, when does that get drawn again?
Tomorrow
or Saturday?
I think it's
tomorrow night.
I don't know. Let me look here.
I get the Powerball and the Mega Millions.
Oh, Saturday.
Saturday. I always say I don't have to win the whole thing. I'll take a few million. I'll share.
Give me a couple mil.
I have no problem sharing with a few people.
Right.
Friday night. Thanks, John.
I don't care. It's a little more than I have now. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
Hey, but what would you do with 1.40 billion if you were the sole winner? Wait a minute, let me look here. The cash value, I did write this down. 643.7 million is the cash value. So
that's after you pay your taxes?
Yeah. What would you do with it? I know, it's like, okay.
First thing I did is buy a big boat.
Buy me a boat. Hey, that should be a song. Never mind. Rhonda says, give it to my kids. But you know what? You could set up some, make sure they're taken care of, college and whatever, just put some aside. But really, that's so much money. You'd never be able to spend it all. I'm sorry.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's crazy.
That's what I said. We could share with a few people. No problem.
For sure.
So
I'd have a lot of people wanting to get into my circle.
Yeah, that is the one thing they say.
Keep your circle there. Don't expand it. That's not good. The Clayton Smalley circle is here. The Skeet Clark circle's here. The Deb Lamphere circle's up here. And when we do the podcast, we bring them together. After that, they go back. So
we should go to Utah. My daughter and my son went to Utah 2 years ago, I think, and did some hiking and went through some mountain. I can't even remember where the heck they went. But they were amazed. Absolutely loved it.
It's a beautiful state.
Beautiful state.
Yeah.
So,
right now is my favorite time of the year. Like the colors and.
So you have a good change of seasons with the fall.
Oh yeah. Go check. I'm friends with you both on Facebook. I posted up, I think, a couple days ago, some pictures. We were up in the mountains.
That's beautiful.
Right now, it's like my favorite time of the year.
Big outdoor person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would absolutely love it here then, because we have the Adirondack region, and it's like north of Albany, northeast of Syracuse. It's the mountains in upstate New York, and right now they're at peak, and with the lakes and the colors, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Lake Placid is up there. It's just amazing. So can you see snow on the mountains from your place?
I could this morning, but I think it's starting to melt. It was pretty warm today.
But there was snow. Okay.
It was just kind of a dusting. Like it wasn't real.
Doesn't matter. It was snow.
Oh yeah, it was snow. It's coming for sure. It was warning everybody. It's not far away.
So I'm a little intrigued. You can look out your window and see mountains.
I can.
Oh my God, that's gotta be
Let me
amazing.
see. I'll see if
No,
can
I
bring
think
it.
that's beautiful. Absolutely
Super wide.
gorgeous.
Probably
I think,
still light
yep.
there. It's not light here.
They're way back there.
Oh,
Oh,
look.
look at
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there is snow. Look, here we go.
I'm impressed.
okay, wait,
You gotta look a long ways back there, but
Oh,
there's
oh
snow.
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Wow.
That is gorgeous. You know,
Yes.
nature just is amazing. It just
Yeah,
is,
it's
it
crazy.
just is amazing. Love it. Love it, love it.
100%. I can't do that. I'd be
Right.
showing you a wall. There's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have
I got one
windows
window
where
in my music room.
You know, I got a couple of guitars hanging on the wall, and they're like, "Oh, you play the guitar?" I go, "No." It's just,
I'll show.
you know, it's just crazy. It's my pod zone, man. And if you were to come through on a radio tour for whatever reason, you know, as you put a song out, maybe you get some time off and you go on a tour. This is where we would bring you in and we'd actually do a live podcast, which we used to do before the world shut down. So,
Yeah.
you know, I have a beautiful studio and I love it. And Deb would come over and we'd sit here with the artist and have a lot of fun. And I get some beer and I get some pizza and wings and all is good. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't talk with my hands when I'm there because
oh my God,
she knocks the microphone and the equipment all over the
Deb would be like, so I was doing, and then there was, and it'd be like, Deb.
The first time I came in the studio, I was like, "Oh my God!"
I'm like,
I
Deb,
was
you're ruining
knocking everything up. I was such a fun.
It's all good, but yeah, your music. Where do you like in 5 years down the road? Where do you hope to be now at this point?
Well, I'm not sure. My main goal right now is just to get better at songwriting. Like, keep working that craft. I'm going to be 45 in November, so
Just a kid. Well,
yep.
I will never quit playing for people. But yeah, at this point, I think I'm trying to write the best songs I can write, and hopefully one of these days get an outside cut or something. You know.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little example here. Age doesn't make a bit of difference. We told an artist this the other night. He was talking about, oh, now I'm going to give away my age, and we're like, it doesn't make a bit of difference. If you're good at your craft, you're good at your craft. And an example of that is we're going to interview Pat Boone again next week because he's coming out with a country song. Pat Boone has got to be close to 90.
Yeah,
and he's a great interview. He's a lot of fun, and you know, we're going to have him on next week again, just like we had him on earlier, just like we've talked to you before. But now we're going to catch up with him again. So,
but that's so inspiring to just know that no matter what age we are in our life, you just got to follow your heart, follow your dreams, and it could be something where you could be selling out stadiums, or you could be playing all over Utah and still love every minute of it.
Yeah,
you know.
I'll still be doing it, and I mean, whatever doors open, I'm gonna walk right through them. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep honing the craft. And
you know, I'm throwing some of these comments out there. Sean Brooks, let me see if I can hang on a minute. I'm gonna try something here. I haven't done this in a while. Here we go. Here, I like this. Here we go. There we go. So there you go. Because of everything you've been through, that is pretty cool. Sean Brooks, how about a big hug for this man? I don't know how he is doing this. I love you, brother. I love your songs.
I appreciate you, Sean. I love you too, man.
See, that's so cool. And then, oh, wait a minute. So Rhonda is your mom?
Rhonda's my mom.
Hi, Mom. Well, then there's no way you're 45 because she doesn't look a day over 45. So. That's how I score points. I'm just saying. Oh, I love
we had we all had kids young.
Yeah, well, I actually
my oldest is 21. She's a nurse up at Primary Children's Hospital.
Wow. Well, God bless her. That is awesome, dude. Yeah. You've got to be so proud as a dad when you look at your kids and what they're doing and what you're doing. Just that's awesome. I don't even know what more to say. That is awesome. That says it all, dude. Absolutely. And what do they think about Dad and his music career?
It used to be a little weird, but now I've been here overhearing my daughter. Like it used to be, it was kind of embarrassing, but I heard her talking to her mom the other day from the other room, and she was telling my wife how she's been steering people to my Spotify. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, here again, age doesn't make a bit of difference. It doesn't matter who you are. It's the quality of the music, and you're doing it right. It sounds great. And she could, she's telling her friend, she could go, hey, I got this new artist I'm listening to, it's Clayton Smalley. And isn't that your name? Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's my dad.
Yeah.
That's funny. It just takes our kids sometimes a while to come around. I mean, really, they're embarrassed by their parents for a very long time. I think my kids might still be embarrassed at times, but they come around.
I see your mom on here and some friends and some fans, and like holiday time, y'all get together. Maybe it's Thanksgiving or maybe it's even Christmas or whatever you celebrate. When you celebrate it, do you pull out the guitar and play for the fam?
I have on occasion, not like Thanksgiving or Christmas, but like if we're just hanging around, I have.
Sit out back around a campfire.
Teresa, who's like one of my best friends, but has been one of my number one fans.
Absolutely.
I can't come to her place without a guitar.
Well, she's born and raised on that too. That's the thing, if we're talking about the same Teresa here. So yeah, absolutely. So once a musician, always a musician.
Yep.
Wow. So so you just put out the single now. A couple of weeks we're gonna have another one.
Gonna have another one tonight.
Miranda tonight.
Cover, but we don't. Dave's working on. We got the next one. More than likely coming out is a song called "You Make Leaving Look So Easy." Yeah, that one's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be like more of a country rock song, and Dave's working on that one right now. So
cool. Now, if I was to jump in your truck and go for a ride with you, what would we be listening to?
In my truck?
Yeah.
It would be a mix anywhere from George Strait to Morgan Wallen. I can't. I'm kind of all over the place. Like,
that's cool.
I love the old school country, but even though I don't like the poppiness of a lot of the new stuff, there's still a lot of good writing in there.
There is.
And that when I'm listening to a song, that's what I'm listening to. And so like a lot of his, I'm a fan, a lot of the writing and that stuff. But like my favorite current guys right now are like the ones that are still keeping it country, like John Party, Cody Johnson, Luke Combs. Those are my go-tos for new stuff now. Yeah.
Cody is Cody Johnson. I mean, everything he's done, coming from Texas and then to Nashville, and the music.
Dude, just the pipes.
Yeah,
the pipes. Like that guy can sing anything.
Well, you can too. So
well, thanks.
And you put your heart into it, you can definitely do that. But yeah, absolutely. You never kind of drift away and go to the pop side a little bit, or
I do. I do. I did a cover of Niall Horan's "Slow Hands."
Oh, look at you!
It's out there.
Yeah.
Right. When I'm working out, I'm listening to Maroon 5 and all my old school rock, like Guns N' Roses, Metallica. Yeah, I'm listening to a bunch.
I was
going
to go there with the old school rock because Deb would tell you this as well, is that we talk to so many different artists, and then we go back and talk about like early on, what were you listening to? And it was Guns N' Roses, or it was AC/DC, or it was there was always something in there, it's like, really? So that's amazing. It's amazing. A lot of great stuff. So
there's a lot of great. I got a pretty wide palette, but usually just during the week, it's I'm like on John Party radio or
I love
Luke
John.
Combs radio.
Right.
And then they'll throw other stuff in there, and you'll be like, "Hey, what's that?" And you go check it out.
Do you get a chance to take in any shows at all? I mean, have you been to a Luke Combs show or Cody Johnson or anybody like that?
Not either one of those. We just went to Ingrid Andress was out here a couple months ago, before that, I went and saw Brothers Osborne. I love Brothers
Love
Osborne.
Brothers Osborne. Yep.
We play a lot. Like in the summer, we play a lot of Brothers Osborne.
Cool.
But I just got tickets to George Strait,
Oh,
Chris Stapleton, and Little Big Town.
oh, that'll be a great show.
So I'm looking forward to that one.
George Strait.
Mhm.
We saw him in Nashville
Mhm.
at the country radio seminar, a few years ago, I think it was. But
Yeah.
I've never seen a full-fledged George Strait show. And I
Oh, really?
I would love to do that. I would absolutely love that.
The last time I saw him was when he was touring with Reba McIntyre, and I want to say that was
Ooh, that's a long time ago.
in the 90s.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Could be. Are you really that old? No, I'm just
It was like late 90s. Yeah, that was one of my first concerts. I think my first one was Guns N' Roses and Metallica.
then you went
Oh
right
my
to George
gosh.
Strait.
Then you go to George Strait.
Well,
Totally apples and oranges there.
yeah, but nowadays, does it matter? No. And there's a
No.
lot of roots in that stuff. There's
Yeah.
just, man, it carries over. I get it.
Those are two of my big ones, though, man. I love everything Chris Stapleton puts out, so
Oh,
like
my
I'm
God.
looking forward to that one big time.
Yeah, that's one show I haven't seen full-fledged yet is Chris Stapleton. Every time he comes
Really?
here, I'm in Nashville, believe it or not.
Yeah,
It's
I
just works
think
out that way.
his new album drops here in November.
Oh.
Yeah.
November 10th, I believe.
I can't wait for
I
that.
have to check his
White
Oh,
Horse.
that's the day before my birthday. Sweet.
Oh, wow.
All
Happy
right.
early birthday.
Thanks.
I got mine coming up in 2 weeks, but we won't talk about that.
Mhm.
Well, yours is closer, so happy early birthday.
And I got 8 grandkids. So
We can wait on that for me. All right?
Yeah. I'm very young at heart. I had them when I was like 12. All right. So, anyways, no, maybe not that young.
Not that young.
Somebody might tell you that, but it's not true. Oh man, I lost my train of thought here a little bit. So I don't know where can so Clayton Smalley online. If somebody wanted to go get your music, give it a listen, download it, buy it. Where can they go?
Everywhere. iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, all that stuff. Clayton Smalley. I think we got a jumping off point at my website, which is ClaytonSmalleyMusic.com.
Cool.
And then I for sure got all the links on social media, which Facebook and Instagram is Clayton Smalley Country.
So is this true? Read it.
Oh yeah.
So your mom is saying as a young boy you had a crush on Reba. I did too.
Did you?
I was Reba. I just, and still to this very day, it's just there's something about Reba. And I have a quick story to tell you about Reba. Deb's probably gonna go, oh no, his stories are never quick. But Reba was playing at the New York State Fair. We used to have a big grandstand. It's long gone now, but she was playing the grandstand, and I was at another country station in town, and they all knew that I loved Reba. There was something about Reba. So what they did, they surprised me with meet and greets, which was cool. So, okay, I get to go back. Dude, I was scared to death. I was shaking to go backstage. And then Reba comes out, well, hi, how are you? You know how she has that really. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. And we have yellow labs. And the yellow lab I had at that time was named Reba. Because it was, I said, I named my dog after you.
Skip.
Of all the things he could say, this is how he greets Reba McIntyre.
Yes. So it was like, don't bother opening the door. I'll go under it when I leave.
Yeah.
That's how it went. I'll never, ever, ever forget that moment. We've all had moments like that where, you know, I was totally starstruck, just didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do. Now, I've been doing this so long. It's like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. All right. But back then it was like, oh my God, that was crazy. You got a yellow lab?
I do. I've always been a lab guy. Mine's named Waylon.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's telling on you here.
Oh.
Hang on. Oh, it's your mom again.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh my
God.
She's your biggest fan, I can tell you right now. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Aunt Lee, is that Aunt Leela?
Yep.
All right, she's on here. Ooh, John Griffin, whoever he is. Are you? See, he comments as much as everybody else.
Are you watching? No, I haven't been watching The Voice yet.
No.
I usually wait for a while.
Yeah, let it get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. Yeah, I don't like sitting waiting.
Yeah, we have a local guy on that though, and his name's Tom Nitty, and he's a New York State trooper. But he was on last week, and I'm sitting on the couch. Normally I don't watch it. I'm like you, but it happened to be on, and then he's talking about being from New Hartford, New York, which is right up the road here. It's really not all that far, and it's just like what? I go, oh my God, that's Tom Nitty. I mean, we're friends on Facebook, you know.
Oh wow!
And I know that he does country music and. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going. Holy shit! Skip happened.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
See if I swear, Jim will yell at me. But Clayton, so they can go to the website, they can get your music, they can download it, they can find out about you. If they need their floor inspected, the concrete, you would gladly come over and do that. And what is it that you look for when you inspect? Like, what is it? They lay a concrete floor and I know you say you're a welder by trade, but
the concrete thing, it's a lot of different. It's like footings, foundation, slabs, walls. I'm mostly commercial construction. So it's like big buildings. And the main thing I do is inspect the rebar and then make sure they're placing the concrete.
Now that's the metal. The rebar is the metal that's inside the concrete so it doesn't chip or fall apart.
Yep. And then I'm making sure they're placing it right and vibrating it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The vibrating part of it kind of shifts it down, right? I don't know.
It just consolidates it so there's no voids in there and stuff. Yeah.
Takes the bubbles out.
Yep.
I don't know. Clayton, you're awesome, man. It's so good to talk to you again. Your story is remarkable. I cannot say this enough. Anybody that watches this, or if we all share it, please mention in there to donate your organs. And if you watch the video, you will know why. And also support Clayton, buy the music, get out there. If we hear that you're coming to town for whatever reason, let's get out and support them. Just definitely good stuff. We love you, man. We love you. And it's just,
I love you guys too, man. Thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
Absolutely. And I believe you already follow the official country music fan club. Are you already on? Deb,
I'm not sure. I actually was on there looking for him. So I'll just mention, if you follow us at the official, I think it's the official CMFC. I went through this last night. I can't ever remember my tag, because then I'll follow you back so that we have a whole nother fan base there that we could expose your music to. We're on our personal pages, but I can't seem to. Facebook's got all these changes, and I have such a hard time getting people that I have to follow. Like, I could do it on my phone, I can't do it on my laptop.
Well, that's kind of weird.
It is the weirdest thing. So we'll see. We went through this. Let me see what it says here. Right. What was it, Skip, last night? The official
CMFC.
Yeah. And we'll get that new music you have going out there and let it out to people.
Absolutely. Are you watching any of the baseball playoffs?
Yes.
So I'm
a Dodgers fan, so I've been watching the Arizona series.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I wanted to face there, but we've done pretty good. Yeah, I'm following you guys.
Okay, there you go. But I think Saturday we got the Twins and the Astros. We got the Rangers and the Orioles. That's with the ALCS, and the NLCS. You got the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. That's going to be a good game, dude. That's going to be a good game.
Because we're division rivals. Yeah.
You got the Phillies and the Braves.
Because we whooped up on the Brewers, so I kind of would have rather faced them.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
What's this? Your mom. Well, you're welcome, Rhonda. It's very nice of you. Red Sox. Oh my God. All right. Goodbye, Sean. We're not. Clayton, we're Mets fans, but our Mets sucked. So maybe next year they're kind of reorganizing. So hopefully everything's going to be better. But And John Griffin, I'm following too.
Yes. Yeah, John, that's how we knew you were making pizzas. So next time we see you, maybe CRS or something, even though you're not really in that business, maybe you could squeeze a few pizzas in there
Yeah,
for us.
we want to find out about that. Clayton, you've been awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I know
Yeah.
you probably got an early morning coming, so
Oh,
So
yeah, I
thank you for
forgot.
having me. Actually, yeah, I do. I got a 4 a.m. pour tomorrow.
Oh, bless it. You know, I love the morning myself. I drove the other day, you know, I had to leave New York to come back upstate. And I left at like 5:30, quarter to 6. The hardest part's getting out of bed. But once you're
Yeah.
out, I just
Oh, yeah. No, it's the
love,
best time of day. Yeah.
I love watching
you
the world
crack
wake
out
up.
of the sack.
Oh,
You get up, you get moving, you take the shower, and
I
then you feel
know.
good.
But
Absolutely.
the drive is just, it's just so peaceful. Like, it's just so peaceful. And of course, it's fall, so the leaves are changing. The sun's coming up, the water's glistening, and you're passing through New York City, and there's
John's got to
boats on the, oh my God, it was awesome. So
Jeez.
enjoy your mornings, because I only do it a couple times a year. I'll brag all about those.
I do take a second to look at the sunrise for
There you
sure.
Yeah.
go.
And a hot cup of coffee in your hand and watch that sun
Yeah,
come up. It's beautiful. I did
I
it for a
agree.
long time. I know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Clayton, you're awesome. God bless you.
Thank you.
Strong man. You
Appreciate
get
you
through a
guys.
lot. You got great music coming out, and you know, we're following you as well. And
Mhm.
as Deb mentioned, she'll make sure the new music gets posted and it gets
Yes.
shared, and hopefully you know, we'll see you soon somewhere down the road here.
Yes.
So
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on, and I appreciate the support. And
100%.
CRS this year? Are you thinking about coming to CRS?
is it the same time as usual?
No. When is it? Skip end of February, right? I think it's last week of February, like the 28th or something.
I was
weird.
there. I was there this year.
You were? Why didn't we see you?
Well, I was in the
Avoiding
studio the whole time. I had 7 songs
Oh.
to do, and like
Okay.
I think I was there for 5 days.
All right. So if you're going to record again, record either before or after CRS, so we can all get together and have
Yeah.
a beverage. Just keep it in mind. So.
No, for sure. I did miss getting out and enjoying the
Mhm.
nightlife.
Well, we'll keep you
Okay.
updated on that. I'm sure John
Yeah.
will as well. And you know, we hope to see you and be able to shake your hand in person and maybe have a cold one. So
There you go.
Sounds good.
all right. Clayton, you're
Yeah.
awesome. Thanks for joining us here
You too.
tonight.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Have a good weekend.